Hello, friends. Thank you so much for being with us today. I am very excited that you've joined us because today we're going to be talking about one of the top 4 things we can do to look our attractive best according to research. So today we're going to focus on foundation, evening out our skin tone. In a previous video, we talked about the 5 questions we can ask that can help us determine what kind of foundation is going to work best for us. In today's video, oh, and by the way, I will include a link to that video below in the description box if you didn't have a chance to see it and if it would be helpful. Today, we're going to focus on some guidelines on how do you actually go about finding that foundation. So if you have mature skin, if you're over 50, 60, or beyond, I think this information can be especially helpful for you. At least I certainly hope so. If you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you. My name is Elise. I'm a working professional makeup artist whose passion is helping those of us who are over 50 look on the outside how we feel on the inside, so we can look and feel our confident best. And I hope you'll consider subscribing to our channel. We have a wonderful group of women who are part of our family. And if you do subscribe, you may also want to hit that bell icon below the video, because when you hit that, that will enable you to receive notifications every time we have a new video available every Thursday. And if you choose to do that, I thank you so much in advance. I really appreciate it. So let's dive in and talk about foundation. I think finding the right foundation is so crucial because if it's the wrong undertone or slightly off, it can really make us look ashy or sallow. Not a good look. So finding the right foundation that will really make our skin look its radiant best can really be a game changer for many of us. So one of the things that's really important to do is to first of all ask a friend whose flawless foundation and look you really admire, and especially if her skin is similar to yours in terms of whether it's dry or oily or combination. I'm sure she will be absolutely delighted to share with you the foundation that she uses, and perhaps also share with you some foundations she's tried that haven't worked so well for her. And by the way, if they haven't worked well for her, it doesn't necessarily mean they won't work well for you, but you may just want to put them down on your B list rather than your A list to try. Second, I encourage you to head to a makeup counter at a department store and talk to one of the associates at the counter who is roughly your age. Now, I know there are some makeup lines that tend not to have older women working for them. One that comes to mind is MAC. I don't know if I've ever seen an older woman working at a MAC counter, but I'm sure there are. But at many of the department store makeup counters, there are women who are close to our age. And I don't mean to sound ageist about it, because I worked for a makeup line for many years and worked with some wonderful younger colleagues who were very knowledgeable and very skilled. But if you do find someone your age, she is going to know the issues that you deal with. She will be challenged by those same issues, and she will know the foundations that will most likely work best on your skin. The other thing I encourage you to do, and this is something I think we hesitate to do, but please don't hesitate because it can really make a difference, and that is asking for samples of several different foundations. And the importance for that is, of course, when we're in a department store setting, we're not in natural light at all. And so finding a sample that you can take home with you, that you can try out in natural light, that you can try out in the light that's in your house. And also, one other thing that's sort of interesting to try is to try it out when you're driving your car. Well, not try it out while you're driving, but put some on before you go for a drive. And then look in the rearview mirror and see how the foundation looks through that rearview mirror. That can really be a game changer sometimes because you have a lot of natural light coming down on you. So that can be helpful. In addition, one other thing you can try is to go to YouTube and enter in the search bar Best Foundations for Older Women. There are a lot of wonderful YouTubers who have done some reviews of foundations that work really well for older women, so that can be helpful as well. There's also a very interesting site called rankandstyle.com. And if you go to that site, what they have available are top 10 lists for all kinds of beauty and makeup products. And those top 10 lists, it's very interesting. They're compiled by looking at data from magazines, blogs, department stores, and social media based on popularity, also based on quality and based on buzz to give those top 10 rankings. So what you can do in the search bar is, for instance, if you're looking for a less expensive makeup, you might put in the search bar top 10 drugstore foundations. Or if you are looking at higher end makeup lines for the foundation in each of those lines, you might type in top 10 department store foundations. And those top 10 lists will give you a starting point. Now, I must say, we sometimes need to take those top 10 lists with a grain of salt, because the way a brand accrues popularity and buzz is obviously through advertising placement in magazines, social media, etc. So you'll often see brands that are well recognized in those top 10 lists, because those are the brands, obviously, that have the money to spend on advertising. So you do take it with a grain of salt because of that. However, I have found in looking at many of those top 10 lists, for instance, top 10 mascaras, top 10 blushes, several different categories, that a lot of the brands that they recommend and a lot of the products in those brands that they recommend really are really good quality. So at least it's a starting point to check out. Another good thing to do is, when you have a few brands and products that you're thinking about, go on the website at Sephora or Ulta and look at the reviews of those products. Especially check out if those reviews include the age range of the person giving the review. Often there will be an age range, and you can check to see if someone giving that review is in your particular age range, because that will be even more valuable. So reviews on brands' website can be helpful, as well as going to the Sephora or Ulta websites. So I hope these tips can be helpful. And I also want to provide for you today a list of some foundations that have been highly regarded by a lot of older women, either other YouTubers or through foundations that I've tried myself or that I've heard about, that I think might be a good starting point for you. And again, as I've mentioned, all of these foundations can work for some of us and not others of us, but at least it will give a rough starting point to give you some ideas of things that you might want to try. Now, this particular list is in no special order, other than the fact that I'm going to list some more expensive, higher end foundations in the first part of the list, and less expensive products toward the end of the list. And forgive me, I'm going to look down, because there's no way I'm going to remember all 10 of these products. So one that's relatively new is from the brand Stila, S-T-I-L-A, and they've come out with a foundation called Hide and Chic, C-H-I-C foundation, which has been highly rated by several people. I have yet not tried it, but I plan to. So it's one you might want to check out. Another one that is, I believe, a Korean brand is called Koh Gen Do. And by the way, I will list all of these in the description box below, so you have the spelling of the names as well. This has been really highly regarded. A lot of rave reviews of this particular foundation. The only drawback with it is there are not a lot of shade choices with this particular foundation. One that's been around for a while, which a lot of people love, is Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Another one is Chanel, and forgive me, I don't speak French, so I'm not going to pronounce this well at all. Chanel Ultra Le Tint Velvet Foundation. And one that's sort of a cult classic that many of you may already use or you're certainly familiar with is one by Estee Lauder called Double Wear, and they also make now a Double Wear Light version of that foundation. Another foundation that I've seen rave reviews about is one called CYO Long Wearing Foundation. Another one that's been around for a while is from Yves Saint Laurent. It's YSL Touche Eclat All-in-One Glow Foundation. And obviously from the name, you're going to get a little bit more dewiness or radiance with that foundation. Another one that is a little bit less expensive is Clinique Even Better Foundation. One of the wonderful things about that foundation is that it comes in a multitude of shade ranges. There is no question you're going to be able to match your skin tone with that particular foundation. They also make a version of that foundation called Even Better Glow, which obviously, again, from the title, gives more of a dewy look, whereas Even Better is more of a matte finish. A drugstore variety that a lot of people really like is called L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup. And the last one I'm going to give you on the list is one I've just heard about recently. And unfortunately, I've only heard about it from people who are in the UK and Europe. And I've done some searching and I don't see that it's yet available in the US. However, Target Stores carries this particular brand. It's a UK brand called No. 7. And the name of the foundation is No. 7 Hydra Luminous Foundation. I am definitely going to keep checking my Target stores to see if they have that yet in stock, because people who have tried it have really loved it. So I hope some of these ideas today have been helpful, and if this video has been helpful, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. And if you know of anyone that might also find some of this information valuable, please feel free to share this video with them. And most importantly, if you have found a foundation that you absolutely love, I hope you'll recommend it in the comments section below and share with us why you love that foundation as well. That will be really helpful for so many women who are really on the search for that holy grail foundation. I thank you so much for being with us today. I know you have a lot of other things you could be doing with your time, so I greatly appreciate your time. And I hope you have a healthy and happy week and month, and have a fabulous rest of your day. Look forward to seeing you next Thursday, I hope. Take care.